Hello, beautiful people. A beautiful morning to you, and welcome to the show. I am Ayo, and this is the opinion poll segment with Ignited Ayo. Like you all know, I want to connect with you, and I know that you want to connect with me as well. And just so we can stay connected together is the reason why this segment is created for you. So here what we do majorly is to share our opinion with you on trending happening in your life from the question you sent to us and also from some happenings trending on social media. And today we have something really interesting to discuss. And also, if you would like to share your question with us, which will be aired here, you can do well to send your question to 09022053305, 09022053305, and B will be right here at Prime Media Studio to share our opinion with you. And before we go into all that today, let's go on a quick break and we will be right back. Welcome back to the show. Like I told you, if you want to send in your question to us, you can send it to the number I dropped earlier. And today I will be sharing my opinion with you alone in the studio. And not to worry, we have something interesting, something worth discussing to discuss with you. And moving on to our first story of a man who said 2 years ago and last year, I was really broke. And I repeat, 2 years ago and last year, I was really broke and broken. No family member was willing to help. No friend. Somehow, God sent me a helper and now earn 2.5 million naira per month. Now, family are meeting me for help. Would it be nice if I ignore or assist? Because the entitlement is crazy. Mind you, no one came to my rescue. So this question. It trended on X on one Mr. Dixon's page on X, and you know, I feel like this is something that we all can relate with, especially if you come from a family that that are not supportive. If you are from a family that they don't care whether you eat or not, all they want you to do is to keep providing. They don't care whether you are happy or not. All they want is whenever they ask you, you give to them. If you are from a family that are not supportive like that, there's tendency things like this can happen. And I personally feel like it is high time family members should stop being entitled to to another family member that is successful. And I am of the opinion that regardless of how rich a family member is, and you go to such person for help and the person is unable to help you, it should not make you look at the person like, oh, this person, I asked him for help, he did not help me, and he has the money and he has this. I see that I don't know. I for one, I see failure as an opportunity to push other to get that thing done myself, and I'm going to accumulate it as part of my own success story. I remember while I was still in school, there was a time I wanted to pay my tuition fee of of about 76,000 naira. I had raised 36,000 naira. I left with 40,000 naira to pay up with. I had an uncle, still alive, who is very rich, stinkingly rich. This man has the money and everything. And by the time my mom went to meet him to plead with him to pay up my school fees, this man was like, no, he cannot, because he has a lot of budget, he has a lot of people he wants to pay their tuition fee, he has some persons he's sending to Mecca, he has some persons in there to take care of, there are some children that want to do their Quran, their walimats in their Arabic lesson, he has parties that he needed to attend to. this is an uncle that my mom is way older than. So looking at my mom kneeling down for such a person, and this one is saying he doesn't have. So why are you still begging? Let's move on. But my mom felt really bad, like, oh, this is somebody she has done something for before. I had to tell her, the fact that you have helped this person before does not mean he has to help you in return. We need to, one major strength I have is that I get over things easily. I fail, yeah, I have failed. I can't dwell on it. Let's move on to the next thing. I look forward to what is coming next more than what is currently happening. And I remember that incident really, really made me dropped back. I lost a whole lot of things. I missed a whole lot of things. I had to start all over again. But I did not continue putting the blame on that family member because it could not help me. So times like this happen. But for this person, in this case, none of his family members were there to help him. Now they are coming to him for help. Now, the only thing, like from my own story, the only thing that will make me help that man, if at all is in a is in dear need of my help at that time. I'm not going to say because he didn't help me, I will not help him in return. I'm not going to say because he made me because I was unable to pay my tuition fee. I had to defer my admission on the long run. On the long run, dropped out of the school I was then, was also for a particular time before going back to school and all of that. Yes, those were times and seasons in my life that I felt really bad. I lost hope. Most of my friends that we finished secondary school together, they were already in higher institutions. Some of them already graduated. Some of them had gotten married and doing meaningful things with their life. And I was there 6 years after leaving secondary school. I hadn't even gained admission and all of that. Now, looking at those situations, one thing I have learned so far in my life is I've learned to see the beautiful moments in every troubled situation. I have learned to see the good, see what God would have me learn in situations. And I discovered that in those times, I was learning perseverance. In those times, I was learning patience. In those times, I was learning long suffering. In those times, I was learning to love. Because till date, I see this uncle and, I don't in any way feel bad. And other lessons I learned so far is that then while I was in school, then I was naive. There was tendency to misbehave. I was so young. I was so young in school, and I see a lot of people do things. I see a lot of people move into some trends. I want to jump at it. I want to do this. I want to do that. So if I had continued, then there were tendencies that I would have. How am I going to put it? I would have done what the things I'm not supposed to do. And to even think that I was even studying a course that is not even related to what I am doing right now. I was studying a course that I was pushed to do it just because all my friends were in school. I also want to be in school. I just had to jump at a course I was not pleased with, a course I knew that I did not have strength with. I had to jump at it. So I learned those beautiful lessons. Though it was really painful, it was after I came out of the pain that I learned the lesson. So for this person, I personally feel like there are lessons that you have to learn. One is the fact that you cannot treat people the way they treat you. You are not a beast. The fact that you were treated wrong by your family members does not mean you have to treat them wrong too. Yoruba used to make a statement. They say things such as ẹni tí ìwọ bá ní kápá láti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún òun lẹ́nìkejì ẹ̀. Whoever you have the capacity to help is your neighbor. The person does not even have to stay close to you. If you are in a capacity, in a situation that you can help another person, you have extended a hand of help to that person. You have extended love to that person. So the fact that your family members treated you bad does not mean you have to treat them bad in return. That will make you, two wrongs cannot make a right. Let's say for instance, someone slapped you and you feel like the best way to retaliate to that person is to slap the person in return. That situation will not be calm. One person has to be the goats, the other has to be a sheep, because you cannot have two goats in the same place. They will keep knocking each other down. They will keep hurting each other. And the only thing that can bring settlement is when you separate both party, and you cannot be separated from your family member. The fact, remember, your family members are your family member. In as much as you cannot change the family where you came from, you cannot change the fact that they have hurt you. You cannot change the fact that they have wronged you. You cannot change the fact that they were not there when you needed them. You cannot change the fact that they were not supportive. You cannot change the fact that they treated you bad. The only thing you can change is to change the turnout of events. And one of the things that will make them, that will make them, that will make them trust you, not that, trust is not even the word. One of the things that will make them see that you are different from them is how you treat them. If you treat them right, even before they ask, you give to them, you did not consider that they treated you bad. They'll be like, oh my God. They will regret it. Don't even talk about it. Don't even remind them that, I remember when I don't have, you were not there for me and all of that. It is their conscience that will judge them, that we, and here he is doing for us like we supported him. They will be forced to come and seek for your forgiveness. Remember what I said, you are not a beast. You are not a beast to treat them the same way they treated you. And if now that you are in the capacity to help them, if you are not helping them, people will not consider what they have done, because it is not everybody you'll be sharing the story. They were not there to help me. They were not this. They were not that. It is not everybody you can share your story with. But the fact remains that people can see that you are now in the capacity to help them, and these people are wallowing in poverty, and you are not helping them. People will point accusing fingers at you. They will put the blame on you, like, no, that means you are wicked. That means you're a bad person. You cannot help your family members. Then why then are you rich? People will begin to make assumptions. They will say things such as, you did money ritual. In as much as you don't want to please society, at the same time you want to be at peace with yourself. You want to be at peace. You don't want to live you want to live a guilt-free life. Hence, you have to treat them the opposite of how they treated you. They weren't there for you, be there for them. They were not supportive, support them. The only thing I would just say is that don't drop your neck because you want to help them. Don't cut off your neck because you want to. Don't go to the extreme, draining your bank account, sacrificing the last thing that you have in your account and, giving it to them. They will come back to treating you that way. So treat them in such a good way that they will come back and say, and be asking for your forgiveness. We've also seen cases. I have a friend who when she had enough with her, she supported her family members. The house where they live, she bought the house. She bought the house where they live in, and she had a shop. Things were going fine for her. She had multiple shops. All was going well. At a very early age, she was in control of millions, and she supported family members. She supported friends. She supported people. But when things went so for her, these people turned against her. They treated her like the worst individual in the house, and it wasn't really easy for her, and all of that. So if family members could do that, how much more when you don't have before they treated you bad? Now you have the one to see you. So it is a proof of what Yoruba used to say, that Owo epo lara yin ba ni la, won ki n ba ni la teje. People will come to you when you have something in your hands. Nobody will want to dine with you when you have bloods in your hands. Nobody know you when you have bloods in your hands. It takes the people who are selfless to support you in your down moments. It takes people who are selfless to be with you when you needed them when you needed them the most. People who could read in between the lines. People who could read in between your smiles. People who could read in between your worry, your laughter. They knew something is up. Those people are down to earth and selfless. They could see the struggle even as you smile. It takes selfless people like that to be able to stand with you. And if you are watching us and you have such people around you, You don't know what you have. You have gold mine. You have gold mine. Another thing is to be the kind of person that supports others in their down moments. Remember, you are not a beast. Don't treat them the same way they treat you. Treat them in a better way, because we want to make up a better society. The reason why we are where we are in this part of the world is because we have people who are coming in with pains of the past, pains of their background, the struggle of their life, and they want to vent that anger on someone else and not on the people who hurt them, not on the people who cause them, not on the people who cause them pain. They are venting the anger on innocent generation. And before you know it, those innocent generation will have the wrong mentality that when people hurt you, you hurt others. We want a society where everybody will be living right, where people can be open-minded to others, where people can live freely with others with good intentions, and you know that you know that you have a clean conscience, and the people you are living with too, they have that clean conscience. That is the society we want to have. We are tired of having toxic people raising another set of toxic people. So you don't want to be a toxic person like those family members who treated you bad. You want to become better than them. And with that, you can make up a better society. So that would be my opinion on that. As soon as we get back from this short break, we will move on to the next story. Stay with us. Leave you.
You are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ìwọ ni Ọlọ́run. Bàbá ọkọ mi, bàbá mi, bàbá ọkọ mi, bàbá mi, aláàánú mi. Ìgbà tó bá ń tẹ́wà lọ́rùn, wà máa ní Ọlọ́run. Bí ó sì tẹ́wà lọ́rùn, Ọlọ́run aláàánú, Ọlọ́run aláàánú, Ọlọ́run aláàánú, Ọlọ́run aláàánú. Ìwọ tó máa fi àánú pa àṣìṣe rẹ̀, ìwọ ni Ọlọ́run. Ìwọ tó máa ń rọ́lá láìsí òṣì, ìwọ lọ́lọ́run. In my problems, you are God. In my losses, you are God. You are my dear Lord. Ìgbà tó bá jẹ́ mi lọ́rùn, máa jẹ́ wọ́n rẹ̀. Ẹ̀mí ò yẹ sẹ́mi lọ́rùn, orúkọ ẹ̀yọ̀ lè.
Welcome back to the show. Like I said, we'll be moving on to the next story that we have to share our opinion with here. And the story is about a US-based Nigerian nurse who gives her husband a brand new car. The picture will be displayed for you to see. I'm sure you are wondering why I'm smiling. Well, I'm just smiling. It's a beautiful thing. So this US-based Nigerian nurse gives her husband, who brought her to America, a brand new Mercedes-Benz on his 50th birthday. So Nigerians are reacting to the fact that if it had been a girlfriend buying the boyfriend a car, people will always say things such as, how can a man be buying some, people are always of the opinion that women should not buy things for their men. People are always of the opinion like that. And this Mercedes Benz, not be small money, 33 billion naira, and more. And this is a proof that we have women who are appreciative of what their partners are doing. I mean, recently, last week, there was a story that trended online of a lady who, in her NYSC uniform, went to, do all sort of parade before her husband who sent her to school. So in as much as we have people running away after they have been helped by their spouses, at the same time we have few other good people who are doing exploits. So I'm going to be reading some Nigerian reactions to this story. One Destiny who said, the moral lesson here is that when a man treats his woman the way she deserves to be treated, he will in turn deserve something like this. So she said, I see a lot of comments on social media, mostly coming from gullible mindset, stingy man, narcissist, and so on. You see, this man here must have treated her with utmost love and respect to deserve such gifts. You don't reward a selfish, controlling, narcissist, egocentric man with this kind of gifts. Let us borrow ourselves brain. I've been in a situation like this too, where someone I was dating will give me a credit card and car to cruise around anywhere without even touching mine. A woman will spoil a man if he is good to her, period. So, there's this thing, there's this word that I always hold on to from the Bible that says, where that portion of the scriptures where God instructed women to be submissive. And we discover that this issue of submission in marriage has always been a big deal. You see men who abuse their wives, men who treat their wives anyhow, men who don't respect their spouses, men who mistreat their spouses, men who don't pay bills, men who talk to their spouses anyhow. They'll be the ones to be talking about submission. I am the man in this house. You have to submit to me and all of that. Men who don't love their wife are the ones talking about submission. And one thing that has always come to me is that, you see, the issue of submission is a two-way thing. Submission is not controlling. Submission is not that you have to prove that you are the man of the house. You have to respect me. That is not submission. If you have to tell your woman to respect you, you have lost your position as the head of that house. So for a woman to go out of her way to support a man, it is not content. She has not done it to be known. She has not done it for everybody to applaud her and all of that. That man has paid a price. And for any man who pays the price to make his woman become his dream woman, that man will reap the fruit of his labor. What do I mean by that? You see men who say, my wife cannot be better than me. Listen to the story. The man brought her to America. It did not stop at that. The man helped this woman to become all that she is. She's a registered nurse in America. You know what it means to be a registered nurse over there? Not in Nigeria, yeah. Over there in the abroad, to become a registered nurse. He helped, he saw that this woman had a potential. She has an ability to become better in the US. And he did not say, hey, you stay back in Nigeria, I'll come and be visiting you and the children. He brought her. How many men will want their wives to become a better version of themselves? How many men will see a potential in their wife and will say, oh, babe, I see the ability for you to, I see that you have an ability to do this thing. Now let's expand it. Let's look at how you can grow. It takes only legends to do that. Men who are secure, men who knew that the things their wives could do is not going to be an hindrance to them. Men who knew that this is a potential in this woman, I have to bring it out. It takes secure men to say, come to the limelight. I'm tired of you being behind. Come to the limelight. Come to places where people can see you. Come and shine forth your light. There's something in you that you can give to your world. And I am not insecure to say that to say that you should not shine your light. I give thumbs up to this man because he's like Lapidot in the Bible. Lapidot is the husband to Deborah. Nobody hear about Lapidot outside the fact that when the Bible introduced him, that there's a man called there's a woman, the woman named Deborah whose husband is Lapidot. That's the only thing we heard about that man in the scriptures. But at the same time, this man It is obvious that he allowed Deborah to shine. That was why he was mentioned. She was a prophet, a prophetess. She was a mother in Israel. She was all she could be in the scriptures. Why? Because her husband allowed her to shine. So when you allow your wife to shine, she will bring the glory back to you. The glory will always be for you. Look at the Proverbs 31 woman. At the end, they mentioned that her husband is known in the gates. If he had been the husband who beat up his wife, if he had been the husband who does not want the wife to shine her light, if he had been the husband who does not want the wife to become significant, they will say, you don't know that man. That man will be saying, no, they won't make him wife come out. They won't make him wife talk to anybody. That would have been the case with the Proverbs 31 woman. But at the same time, he was a man who allowed his wife to shine. So this is why this man here is. So this thing is not for men to become men who are not taking care of their wives to come and be telling us what they're not supposed to be saying such things as hey, look at not the woman like you, comparing your wife, comparing the woman you're not taking care of, comparing her with a woman who bought her husband 30 million naira Mercedes Benz. That man took care of her. That man was there for her. That man was supportive. That man was helpful. That was why she could retaliate. So some of you that are shouting, hey, no be woman like you. When was the last time you intentionally bought your wife on this? When was the last time you intentionally bought your wife a dress? When was the last time you go out? I was listening to a man over the weekend, and he was saying that he went to a place where they sell accessories and they sell dresses. But the good thing about those dresses is that when you buy that particular thing, you will never see that dress on any other person's body again. And it is so expensive, and it was because of how expensive it was that he asked, why is your own particular accessory and dresses expensive? And they told him, this thing, if you're buying it for your spouse, she will be the only one to be using that thing. You won't see it on any other person. And he was like, don't worry, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. And he called his wife, said, Oni, I want to buy you something, but the price is expensive, even though it is something unique and all of that. The wife appreciated it. So before you go ahead and be comparing your wife with this woman who has bought her husband a car for his 50th birthday, ask yourself, are you head enough? Is your head heading? Let me ask you that question. Are you doing your job as the head of your home? Are you bringing out the best in your wife? Have you not made that woman only an housewife? You see a lot of women, as soon as they say, yes, I do, that is the end of their life. As soon as they say, yes, I do, they are not advancing. The only thing they are taking care of is your children. How have you helped that woman to bring out the potential in her? How have you helped that woman to become all that she can be in God? How have you helped that woman to become significant to her generation? Women, enough of these things that we say that women's whatever end in the kitchen. No, these women have potentials in them that you can help them to bring out. They have the ability. Do you see that your wife cooks better? And so, you cook well. Have you considered opening a restaurant? Let's look at the cost of opening a restaurant. You need to showcase this skill. Let people see what you can do beyond this house. Showcase it to the world. Let people see what you can do. These are ways that you can help your spouses. Do you see that your wife she sings very well? Instead of saying, hey, go and join choir, and that is all. Take her to the studio. This voice must be heard. People must know that I have a beautiful wife who can sing. Take her to the studio. Get her a music instructor. Get her somebody that can teach her how to do one or two things with musical instruments. These are ways that you can help your spouses. Do you see that she has an ability to raise children? That is a potential in her, that she has something for raising children. Has she been raising your children well? Have they been homely? That is a proof that there's something in this woman that she could give to our world. Look inward. Beyond the fact that she's giving you sex, there's more that you can give to her. Beyond the fact that you are pouring into her, giving birth to children. Look inward at the things that you can help your spouse with. Is she the type that listens to you? Is she the type that listens to the children? She listens to others, give them godly advice. It is a proof that this woman has a thing for counseling. Help them to discover who they are if they have not discovered it. And if at all they have discovered it, help them to become better. When you help your spouse become better, see, it is not all the time that you tell your spouses, I love you. There are times that I love you is not enough, like when you see it in action. Seeing it in action is when they can see that you can go all out for them. And we have few of those men. We have few of those men in this part of the world. Men who will say that, no, I don't want you to just be Mrs. A. I don't want you to just bear my name. I want you to bear your own name. The own name in the sense that you have an image, you have something you are known for, you are significant in your own world. People are getting impacted through you in business, as an entrepreneur, as a pastor, Mrs. People are getting blessed through you. That is a name for that woman. And when you bring out the best in your woman, she is not going to come back she will not come back to hurt the finger that has beat her. She's not going to come back to point accusing finger at you. She's not going to come back to call you names. She will appreciate it. Women want men who will go out of their way to make them become the woman that God has ordained them to be. And if you so when you help your woman, she will be submissive regardless of how much she has in her bank account, regardless of how much she is earning, because she will consider the days where you don't have any. There are still women like that. Do not give up on your women. At the same time, don't get married to gold diggers. There are women that have that trait of gold digging in their nature. It is obvious in them that this one, you are not yet married to her. She's already saying such thing as, whoa, the day your money finish, you have to look for how to take care of me. She's already pointing, she's already showing that sign of gold digging in her demeanor, in her behavior, in her words, in conversations. She says such things as, how can you be buying me cheap things as this? How can she's already saying, I can't wear cheap dresses. She's already saying, my hair has to go, I can't make hair less than 100K. She's already saying all of those things. So don't be married to gold diggers. And now waiting your eyes fine, your eyes go see. You get married to a gold digger, you have a gold digger as a wife. So there are women that they are already showing traits that they can go out of their way for you. Why not invest on such women? But the annoying thing is that you have such women. You have a woman who doesn't make demand from you, and you feel like, my wife is my fiance is not a good. She doesn't demand. Because she doesn't demand does not mean you should not give. Because she doesn't ask does not mean you should not give her. So those women have the trait that when you invest in me, I'm willing to. I have a lot of. I'm an asset. I'm a complete package. As much as I have my needs, I can take care of myself. And these women are showing you signs. These signs that you can invest in them. They are not making demand from you, but you can, with your common sense, look at it that I can invest in this woman. Invest in her, and she will come back and give you, give it back to you in a million folds. So this is the beauty of marriage. You love your wife. She come back to be submissive. And this woman has shown submission, that in as much as I am a registered nurse, in as much as I have all of the things that I want, all of the things that I need, I will not forget the fact that this man sacrificed for me. This man compromised for me. she's the only one that knew all of the things that the man sacrificed, and she was like, "Oh, my husband went out of his way to help me, and I'm going to give back to him in return." The man may have the money, but she's appreciative. So, as you are paying the price of loving her, one day you reap the reward. One day you reap the reward. Have that mentality that your investment in your woman is not a waste. Yeah. So we give thumbs up to all women who are doing a lot to make their home beautiful. We give thumbs up to all men who are doing a lot to ensure that they help their women to become all they can be. And to even think that we are still in the month of international, we are still in the month for women. In this month, we have celebrated Mother's Day, International Women's Day. So this is a good one on the part of women, that we still have women who are supportive and caring and will go out of their way to ensure that they appreciate and to ensure that they don't bite the finger that has once hurt them. I am a woman and I am proud to be one. So this will bring us to the end of Opinion Poll with Ignited Ayo today. I'll see you next week Monday. And before then, if you have a question that you want us to air right here, do well to send your question to 09022053305. Send in your question. We are not only talking marriage here. We look at discussions from different angle. My opinion may be quite different from your own opinion, but I will be right here. And if you have an opinion concerning all of the stories that we have shared here, wherever you are watching us from, do well to drop your opinion in the comment section rather. If you're watching us on Facebook, we are Prime Media TV. If you're watching us on Instagram, we are Prime Media Studio. If you're watching us on the website at enginespeak.com, do well to drop your own opinion in the comment section. Also, you can do well to follow us on YouTube at Engine Speak. I am Ayo until I come your way again. To have a great day.